Pause your thumb for a second, and breathe slowly, because what's reaching you now isn't random. There's weight on this moment. You didn't land here by chance. Something is unfolding beyond what the eyes can track, and it's active right now. A scene exists in the unseen where everything is clear, even if it isn't on earth. From a place close to your heart, a cry is rising. From someone bound to you by blood, by purpose, by an assignment written long before now. I'm speaking about your son. He's sitting in quiet pain, and even if he doesn't recognize it, his inner being is calling out to you. He may never have said it aloud. No message sent. No call made. He might not even have the language for it yet. But inside, he's calling for help. And this message is arriving now because the moment to move isn't later, it's now. There's a presence around him that wasn't there before. Nothing dramatic. Nothing obvious. It slipped in softly, like a breath in the dark. And it's been feeding him thoughts that are slowly tearing at his heart. Whispering that he's isolated. That he's been left behind. That no one could possibly understand what he's carrying. He's holding a load that was never designed for him. Fighting something he doesn't know how to explain, even to you. Walking through nights you never witness. Wrestling with thoughts that surface when the world goes quiet and sleep won't come. Heaven is highlighting this now because it refuses to let him sink deeper into this silence. Your son is standing in a fragile spiritual moment. A threshold. One direction leads further into fear and confusion he was never meant to endure. Another direction opens toward renewal, toward strength, toward who he truly is. And you are the turning point. You are the voice chosen to interrupt the lies echoing in his mind. You are the one selected to stand in the gap tonight. Stay with me, this matters. Understand this clearly, your son isn't pulling away out of defiance. He's not leaving because he wants distance or because he wants to wound you. He drifted because something tugged at him quietly when no one noticed. An unseen attack slipped in during sadness, during weakness, during a vulnerable moment. It found him when he began doubting his value. It struck in a hidden instant he told no one about. There are tears he's released in private. Fears he tried to confront alone. He pressed them down until they became storms beneath the surface. Heaven wants you to know this fight wasn't created by you, and he didn't invite it. But it's being uncovered now because it won't win. The heaviness surrounding him is shaking as this message reaches you. Things are shifting where you can't see them. Protection is being arranged. You are being gently stirred awake for a moment that carries consequences far beyond tonight. Don't skip this. He believes he has no safe place to speak. He thinks that if he opens his mouth, no one will grasp how tangled the pain really is. Deep inside, he's afraid the truth would disappoint you. He feels pressure to be strong, to hold himself together, even as he's falling apart inside. He wears calm like a mask while feeling like he's going under. This fight doesn't show on the surface. But it's fully visible to God. Every quiet night. Every ounce of pressure. Every wound he's concealed. And this message was sent because heaven is done watching him carry what he was never built to bear. Your son needs you. Not eventually. Not when schedules slow down. Not when things feel easier. He needs you now. Your words can snap what's been binding him. Your reassurance is the rope that pulls him back from isolation. Your nearness is what stills the chaos inside him. Your voice is the sound heaven intends to use to steady his soul. Most people stop here, but there's more beneath this. There is something precise he has been wrestling with in his thoughts. A thought that won't release its grip, a fear that keeps expanding as the days pass. It could be an old moment replaying itself, or a regret that quietly erodes his confidence. The adversary keeps murmuring falsehoods into his mind, about his value, about what lies ahead, about whether he can ever stand back up from this place. He's being told he's falling short, that reaching out would be pointless, that no one would come even if he tried. But heaven speaks a different language. Heaven declares he is selected. Heaven declares he is guarded. Heaven declares he belongs and that purpose is tied to his life. God is showing that your son is near a fragile emotional ledge. Not because he chose it, but because something wore him down piece by piece. Something coaxed him inward and sealed him into this quiet pain. But awareness itself is a weapon. Even hearing this right now is movement on his behalf. You're not passive in this moment, you're engaged. If this is stirring something deep inside you, if your heart is pulling toward your son, acknowledge it now. Type Amen, or say, I'm standing for my son. Few people reach this point, and your agreement matters more than you realize. What you're doing right now helps wake others who need to see this battle too. Alignment breaks resistance. Attention disrupts the enemy's plan. Your willingness to respond marks the first crack in what's been holding him. Very soon, there will be a subtle opening. A small signal. It may look ordinary, just a brief exchange, a simple question, a hesitation before he speaks, or a message that arrives without warning. Don't dismiss it. Don't explain it away. That instant is an invitation. It's an opening you're meant to step through. God is revealing that your son has been contending with something rooted in his past. A shadow shaped by expectations he couldn't meet, or words spoken carelessly that lodged deeper than anyone knew. But that shadow is weakening. Its hold is loosening. Not through pressure. Not through force. Through love. Light released even now is dissolving what once lingered. He's kept things hidden not out of deceit, but out of fear, fear of judgment, fear of seeming fragile, fear of letting you down again. Beneath the silence is turbulence. Yet God says the moment he's approaching won't shatter him. It will shatter what's been binding him. Even if you sense heaviness, hear this clearly, there is powerful protection surrounding your son right now. You can't see it with natural sight, but there are guardians positioned around him. As these words reach you, movement is happening beyond view. A covering is being strengthened, thicker than the darkness trying to crowd his thoughts. Light is encircling him, and no whisper of fear can pierce it. Stay with me, because heaven is calling on you specifically. You are not optional in this. You are essential. A key part of his rescue, his restoration, his healing. God says your son is reaching for you in the unseen, even if his mouth stays closed. He may lack the words. He may feel buried under the weight of it all. But his inner self is calling. His heart longs for your presence. His future leans on this connection. Heaven has responded because his cry has risen all the way up. Let this be clear, this is not defiance. Not rebellion. It's exhaustion. Confusion. Isolation. Fear. A soul saying, I can't carry this by myself anymore. That cry has been heard. And what you're listening to now is heaven's reply. This is your moment to move. Your assignment for this hour. You're called to reach out, to speak, to cover him in prayer in a way that goes deeper than before. To listen past his words and hear his heart. To hold him emotionally. To breathe life into places that feel empty. God wants you to know his story does not end alone. His future won't be stolen. His identity won't collapse under the weight of this world. His mind won't be overtaken. His soul won't be lost. There is restoration ahead, recovery, clarity, strength, freedom. But right now, he needs you. Not because you're flawless. Not because you have every answer. He needs you because your presence steadies him. Your voice is the anchor he's been missing. Your love is the net beneath him, and your care is the spark that sets change in motion. If this is landing on you and you're ready to be that steady point for your son, pause and declare it. Type God restore my son in the comments. Let it be a visible stand of faith, a quiet resistance against the darkness pressing in. When voices align like this, a chain forms, one that stretches farther than you can see. Heaven says there is still hope. Still space for time to turn. Still victory and purpose hovering over his life. He's crying in isolation now, but not for long. You're about to step forward, and God is stepping in beside you. Let this be your signal. Your alert. Your confirmation from beyond what's visible. Heaven is pressing urgency into your spirit. Go toward him. Reach him. Help him now. What happens next begins with your response. But this isn't the end of what you're meant to hear. Stay with me, there's more unfolding beneath the surface. Something shifted recently. It may have looked insignificant on the outside, but it carried weight in the unseen. He crossed into a moment, or crossed paths with someone, that quietly drained his confidence. A letdown cut deeper than he let on. Outwardly, he shrugged it off. Inside, it lingered like a wound that wouldn't close. God says that open place became an entry point. A brief vulnerability was twisted into an attack. One negative idea multiplied into fear. A passing feeling hardened into a heavy weight. What should have been temporary turned into a repeating cycle in his thoughts. Because he didn't know how to say it, he carried it alone. But he was never meant to. There's a reason heaven is drawing your attention right now. Your awareness isn't accidental, it's alignment. Something has opened above, and something in his timeline is ready to move. He's been walking with a quiet heaviness you may have sensed but couldn't define. He wakes with it. He lies down with unanswered questions. Thoughts press him into silence. A practiced smile hides deep fatigue. He's pushing to stay strong, but the reserves are thinning. Heaven refuses to let him reach collapse. God says your prayers on his behalf are shifting things. Your awareness is cracking the dark places. Your love is interrupting isolation. Your presence is becoming a shield. Your voice will be what cuts through the noise surrounding him. Few people reach this point, and it matters that you're here. There's another layer behind his silence. A memory he can't release. A situation he regrets. A moment that carries guilt. It sits heavy in his chest, adding weight day after day. He hasn't told you because he's afraid of letting you down. Disappointing you feels worse to him than the struggle itself. He's scared of being seen as fragile. He worries his pain will become your burden. He fears your reaction. But God says you are his safest place. Your voice brings healing. Your nearness brings calm. Your compassion holds the strength he needs to lean on right now. Heaven is urging you to reach him before another breaking point, not because he's failing, but because he's been fighting alone. He isn't lost. He's overwhelmed. He isn't wrong. He's exhausted. There's a fog around his thoughts that God is clearing even now. The emotional noise is being quieted. Fear is losing its grip. Darkness is being pushed back as you receive this. What you choose today will echo into his future. Your mercy will unlock confidence. Your understanding will help him breathe again. God wants you to know he's been trying to protect you by carrying everything himself. He believes you already have enough weight. He convinced himself his problems weren't worth sharing, that strength meant silence. But heaven never designed him to bear burdens alone. Heaven designed your son for connection, covered, supported, and this unfolding story isn't finished yet. You are a vital layer of that protection. Your prayers wrap around him like unseen armor, deflecting waves of discouragement aimed at his heart. Your affirming words construct walls around his thoughts, guarding him from collapsing into doubt. Your belief steadies his footing when he feels too depleted to move forward. Your love is the pressure that snaps restraints he's never found the courage to name. There is a moment approaching, possibly closer than you think, when he will finally let something surface. It may come without warning. He might unravel after holding himself together for far too long. Or he may quietly release a truth and pull back again. It could sound small, a single question spoken carefully. Or a reach for you that feels unfamiliar. You may notice fear in his eyes in a way you never have before. When that instant arrives, don't hurry him. Don't correct him. Don't evaluate or interrogate. Don't push for more than he can give. Just stay. Just listen. Just love. That fragile opening will be the entrance to his healing. God wants you to see the reason this resistance formed. Your son carries a calling of great weight. One the enemy has tried relentlessly to smother before it could fully emerge. There is purpose inside him the darkness has tried to bury beneath pressure and silence. A destiny the enemy fears. A strength that unsettles what opposes light. He holds something powerful enough to shift atmospheres, something that will take time, even for you, to fully comprehend. If you believe his life is marked for more despite what he's facing now, take a moment and affirm it. Type "My son is chosen." Let faith fill the space surrounding our children. Heaven will not allow interference to destroy what is still unfolding. Not now. Not under your care. And not under divine watch. Your son is approaching a new season. A turning of the page. One marked by clarity, inner repair, and spiritual covering. A season of steadiness and direction. But he needs you beside him as he steps across the threshold. God reveals there has been interference, distortion aimed at his thoughts, lies planted to weaken him, attempts to isolate him from support and convince him he stands alone. But a boundary has been drawn. He is not alone anymore. Heaven has answered his quiet cry. And because you're responding too, ground is being reclaimed. There is a guardian assigned to him, one that has waited for alignment like this. Standing watch through long nights. Guarding his rest when he felt disoriented. Whispering strength when giving up felt close. And now that protection is being reinforced. He is being surrounded like a stronghold. What pressed in is breaking apart. What weighed him down is lifting. The fog that blurred his judgment is thinning. Fear is losing influence. Pressure is loosening its grip. Silence was never meant to last forever. Heaven has interrupted what was unfolding. And you were given this awareness for a reason. Your son is about to inhale deeply again. To feel lighter. Safer. Seen. To experience support he hasn't felt in a long time. To encounter God's presence in a way that feels real and close. He cried alone, but not anymore. You will move toward him, and heaven will move with you. Healing begins here. Restoration begins here. Peace and clarity begin here. Nothing can halt what has already been set in motion. But heaven isn't finished speaking. There are still layers you must understand before this assignment closes. Not to burden you, but to strengthen you. The clearer you see the unseen, the more effective your help becomes. The more aware you are, the faster he rises. This was never just about pulling him out of a difficult moment. This isn't only about pulling him back from the edge. It's about renewing him, rebuilding what's been worn down, and readying him for what's ahead. God is showing that your son has been caught between two versions of himself. One shaped by pressure, unmet expectations, and fear. The other formed by purpose, calling, and a greatness that was placed inside him. What you're witnessing isn't about behavior or personality. It's a struggle over who he is becoming. He was targeted because of what he carries. Because of the influence his voice will hold one day. Heaven is unveiling this so you understand, this fight is not ordinary. Your son isn't weak. He isn't broken. He isn't unstable. He is marked. He is selected. He is assigned. There is spiritual strength within him even when he feels depleted. And those who are chosen often face resistance others never see. This season is not meant to destroy him. It is shaping him. Preparing him to be someone who ends cycles that have lingered for generations. Someone who shifts atmospheres just by showing up. Someone who carries wisdom beyond his years. Someone others will eventually turn to for direction and help. But before he can step fully into that role, healing has to reach the places he's been carrying alone. Restoration has to touch the silence he's been trapped in. Strength has to be rebuilt exactly where the enemy tried to wear him down. And you are woven into that process. You are more than his parent. You are his covering here. His advocate. The voice heaven trusts to lift him when he's tired. You were chosen intentionally for this moment. Because you're willing to stand in the gap, a shift is coming. It won't arrive all at once. It will start quietly, like the first hint of light before dawn. Subtle. Easy to miss at first. Then it will grow clearer. Brighter. Until even he feels the difference inside. His emotional state will begin to steady. Mental clarity will return. Physical energy will rise. The voice that doubt tried to mute will find its strength again. Hope will start to surface where ashes once were. In the beginning, it may look small. A genuine laugh, even if brief. A little more conversation than usual. An unexpected openness about something minor. A request for help where he normally insists on handling things alone. These aren't coincidences. They are indicators. Signs that the atmosphere around him is changing. Evidence that your presence, and heaven's involvement, are taking effect. Proof that darkness is losing its hold. But patience is required. Don't rush the process. Don't force depth before he's ready. Don't push him to express what he can't yet put into words. Healing unfolds in stages. Breakthrough often arrives in waves. Even when it seems quiet, work is happening beneath the surface. There is a moment ahead when everything he's been holding will finally release. It may come through tears. Or through a soft admission. It might look like silence, or exhaustion, or an emotional collapse that surprises you. Don't be afraid of that moment. It isn't weakness. It's release. The weight finally lifting. When it happens, you won't need perfect words. You won't need long explanations. You'll just need to stay. Your presence will be enough. Your calm will be enough. Your willingness to listen and love will be enough. Hear this clearly, his pain is not punishment. It isn't a sign that things are spiraling. It isn't failure. It's transition. He's moving from one chapter to another. Letting go of old burdens. Leaving behind patterns of thought that no longer belong to him. Heaven is rebuilding him, and the turning point is closer than it appears. Most people stop here, but there's one more layer you need to see. Your son has the heart of a protector. He instinctively shields others from pain, even when no one asks him to. He carries responsibilities he never names. He fights quietly so others don't worry. He pours strength into people around him even when he feels empty himself. That's who he is at his core, and heaven is not finished with what it placed inside him yet. And he keeps standing even when everything inside him feels unsteady. That's why he breaks down where no one can see. That's why the tears come in private. He conceals his fear because his heart loves deeply. But God says this will not remain hidden forever. Your son will no longer fight quietly. His voice will rise again. His bravery will return. His joy will resurface. His sense of purpose will awaken. His true identity will come back into focus, and peace will settle where turmoil once lived. You are going to witness this with your own eyes. Not all at once, but step by step. Strength will begin to show in his spirit. Light will come back into his gaze. A fire you thought was gone will stir again within him. And when you notice it, you'll recognize that heaven did not forget its word to you. If this promise of renewal is landing in your heart, pause and mark it. Type, "I claim victory for my son." Let it seal what you've been carrying in prayer. Stay with me, this matters. God says you aren't just helping him get through a difficult season. You're helping usher him into who he was always meant to be. You're assisting him as he steps toward destiny and away from the unseen restraints that tried to define his path. Your faithfulness hasn't gone unnoticed. You are not fighting alone. Heaven is active with you. Messengers are moving on your behalf, surrounding your son, guarding his thoughts, steadying his steps. The heaviness is lifting even now. The pressure that tried to choke his hope is breaking apart. False narratives are collapsing. The sadness is losing its hold. This chapter does not conclude in loss. It doesn't end in collapse or despair. It carries a quiet, profound spiritual shift that will ripple through the rest of his life. He will rise. He will recover. He will grow stronger. He will overcome. Laughter will return. Confidence will stand tall again. He will find himself once more. Hear this as instruction, not pressure. Go toward him. Reach out. Love him. Listen closely. Be present. Because his turning point begins with your response, and heaven will carry it forward. He will not fall apart. He will not be lost. He will not sink into silence or remain in the dark. God says, "I am with him, and I am with you." Let that settle. This is the assurance your spirit has been waiting for. He is protected. He is covered. He is rising. And you are the bridge heaven is using right now.